Hi guys, I'm Shadi and welcome to Shadi's Kitchen, a channel dedicated to making simple to follow recipes in the comfort of your own home. Whether you are new to cooking, you will not require any fancy tools and hopefully you will build the confidence to make these delicious dishes to wow your friends and family. Today we will be looking at making an onion bhaji, which is a variation of the pakora. Onion bhajis have a tendency to have more onions in them, but traditionally, pakoras are made with much less onions. You'll find onion bhajis as a starter in many Indian restaurants or in takeaways as well. So are you ready? Let's get cooking. So for this recipe, you're going to need 300 grams of onion, and we've sliced these, as you can see. They don't need to be too thin, but roughly chopped is absolutely fine. You'll need 400 grams of sliced potatoes. Now with your potatoes, again, you can cut them down into shorter pieces like this. Keep it relatively thin. Don't panic too much. You can see ours is slightly thick on one side. It's just been roughly chopped. You might want to go slightly smaller than these, but that's purely due to your own preference. You're going to need 40 grams of chopped coriander. That's fresh chopped coriander, as you can see. That's just been roughly chopped again as well. One chopped green chili. And you can see here, we're using one green chili for this recipe. However, if you find after making this recipe that it's not chili enough for you, you can always add more for the next recipe that you actually do with this. That's purely preference, but we normally use one green chili. You will need 2 teaspoons of red chili powder, 2 teaspoons of coriander powder, 1.5 teaspoons of cooking salt, 350 grams of gram flour, 320 mils of plain water. There you go, plain water there. And finally, you will need some sunflower oil that you're going to fry this dish in. So now you're going to need a mixing bowl and we'll start mixing all the ingredients together. So I'm just going to add the onions, just follow that by the potatoes, coriander, popping the green chilies into there now. And popping the 2 teaspoons of red chili powder. The 2 teaspoons of your coriander powder. Your 1.5 teaspoon of your cooking salt. The gram flour. And we'll add a bit of water at the start, and we'll start adding that bit by bit if we need more. So I'll start adding the water directly to the mixture. So we're going to start adding the water to the mixture now, bit by bit, and we'll make sure you can mix these with your hands. We just use the hands here to mix directly. So I'll add some water, and I'll begin mixing that up. And we'll add more water as and when it's needed. Make sure you get it really mixed in. And you can see it's really nicely mixed now. You can see the moisture of the water on the mixture itself. It doesn't look dry. We've given that a good thorough mix. And at that point, you'll be ready to start to fry. There you go. Okay, at this point I would definitely prep a few things in preparation for the cooking of the pakoras. I am using sunflower oil, which is, I prefer using that one, to be honest, when I'm cooking. You need to put that on a high heat, and I've got that quite full up, as you can see, in a wok. I've also prepared on the side a little dish with a kitchen towel that runs underneath. That is to drain the pakoras when they are made. Okay, and now we need to know how to check if the oil is actually hot enough, and the easy way to do this is just to get a tiny bit of the batter that you've got mixed already. You can pinch it in your finger if you wish, and drop a tiny bit into the oil, and you can see quite quickly here that it goes down to the bottom and it's bubbling and it comes straight back to the top. That means that the oil is now ready, and you're ready to start placing your pakoras into the actual oil. At this point, in terms of how much you need, I am using a tablespoon for this, and you need to use 1 tablespoon at a time, and just get the mixture and pop it straight into the oil like this. Okay. Make sure you're trying to keep it even spoons and spreading them out around. Okay, so a minute's gone. You need to gently turn these pakoras now around in the oil. If you want, you can use a pair of tongs. You might find it a bit easier to do with a pair of tongs. Okay, I will just give them a little turn again. It's been approximately a minute longer. See, they're getting lovely and brown now. And from here is the judgment of your eye, really, in terms of your cooking. You can see they are still relatively cream to a brown in colour. They will start getting a golden brown. Okay, I'm just going to turn it again one last time. You can keep doing this throughout, as long as you're giving it approximately 30 seconds to a minute. I would say about a minute normally. You can just keep rotating it so you get an even cook on both sides. You can see these are beautifully brown now. You can see that, and these are ready to actually come out. So at this point, you just need to scoop them out. Be careful with the oil. Make sure with the drips, give it a bit of a shake. Make sure that you're not getting any oil on the side. You want to make sure they're nice and dry, and pop them straight onto the kitchen towel. And there you have it. And with the rest of your mixture, you can let them cool down now. And with the rest of your mixture, you can crack on and make the rest. Okay, so there you have it, a beautiful bowl of pakoras. You can actually make different variations to this. If you wanted to add anything extra, you could have. You could have added spinach in there as well into the mix. That would have been quite a nice mix to add. But this goes really, really, really well with a coriander chutney, which is also a video that we made, and you can find this in the link below. Alternatively, if the chutney is too spicy for you, you can actually have these with ketchup, which is quite a nice condiment to add on to that. A very important thing to remember with these is that they must be eaten fresh. And there's no doubt, many a time I've made this for friends and I've taken them over and they've been cold. People love them when they're cold, but they have no idea how amazing and moreish these are when they are made there and then and eaten whilst they are still hot. Right, it's time for me to get the seal of approval from my mum and dad. Wish me luck. As you can see, I've come back alive. The plate's empty, so I've got the seal of approval. Thank you for watching. If you can, please like and subscribe to our channel.